Hello, everybody. So lovely to see you here. And today we are going to have our ninth poetry evening. And this time it's going to be a little bit different. This time we are not presenting our own poems. We are going to see what kind of poems have inspired young Theosophists over the time the most. Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Then let's go on. So, I saw you were there, Seth. Would you be so nice if you have possible and read out Miriam's poem? She's not here, unfortunately, tonight.
Yes. Where the mind is without fear and the head is held high, where knowledge is free, where the world has not been broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls, where words come out from the depths of truth, where tireless striving stretches its arms towards perfection, where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way into the dreary desert sand of death habit, where the mind is led forward by thee into ever widening thought and action, into that heaven of freedom, my Father, and my country awake.
Oh, that is so beautiful. That is so beautiful, yes. Where the mind is without fear and head is held high, where knowledge is free, yeah. And words come out from depth of truth, and we're always striving towards the perfection. And it's not the sand of dead habit. And this is, of course, it is written by Ravindra Tagore. I think this is like one of his nicest poems. I think we are heading towards this kind of heaven. Because when I'm reading the line before the last one, where the mind is led forward the idea into ever-widening thought and action, I'm thinking it is a little bit reminding me this Blavatsky's meditation diagram where he said meditate on the ever-expanding space and ever eternal time or something like. And I'm thinking, isn't that where we are aiming to be? What do you think?
Yeah, and it seems to, I mean, the poet who wrote this, I think, did a good job of trying to communicate in words, maybe Booty coming down and shining a light on the mind. The only thing I think I would change is the last line, where it says, "Let my country awake." I think maybe in this 21st century, it should be "Let the world awake" or something like that,
Oh yeah,
as
definitely,
we
definitely.
so we all lose that identification with our countries and
Yeah,
realize it's not all that important.
I agree. This is our planet. Like not only, yeah, but maybe Ravindra, I don't know. Maybe he wrote it in Indian language. Like then it makes sense. Like what I don't know what purpose he wrote this Gitanjali. Um, and it's just it's so beautiful that it is, like you said, everything after the last part of the last line is like universal. I mean, you can also let the country wake, but also next step will be let the whole world be in that state. Yeah, because the country is not separate from all the other worlds. Yeah, it's very beautiful. I think it's one of those poems that might be good a little bit think or meditate on at one point. But now I will go a little bit further. And it happens to be that Miriam also sent a second poem. So Seth, do you mind read out this Krishnamurti written
Yeah.
poem also?
I have no name from the song of life. I have no name. I am as the fresh breeze of the mountains. I have no shelter. I am as the wandering waters. I have no sanctuary like the dark gods, nor am I in the shadow of deep temples. I have no sacred books, nor am I well seasoned in tradition. I am not in the incense, mounting on the high altars, nor in the pomp of ceremonies. I am neither in the graven image, nor in the rich chant of a melodious voice. I am not bound by theories, not corrupted by beliefs. I am not held in the bondage of religions, nor in the pious agony of their priests. I am not entrapped by philosophies, nor held in the power of their sects. I am neither low nor high. I am the worshiper and the worshipped. I am free. My song is the song of the river, calling for the open seas. Wandering, wandering, I am light. I have no name. I am as the fresh breeze of the mountains.
I very much like it. And it is very much related to Krishnamurti's philosophy, especially in his later life philosophy, when he said where he really stands for what the Theosophy also teached, that we should not have a gurus or dogmas. We should take things as they are and really think about them. And like he really does what he can do with the words to describe what is the freedom that he was speaking or thinking of. Like, I am not held by the bondage of religions, nor is the specious agony of the priests, nor am I entrapped by philosophies. I mean, he probably knew many philosophies, but I think he's one of the, I don't want to say few, but I would say few persons in the world who can really say and mean it. I am not entrapped in by philosophies. Yeah. But also it's a humble that he is not considering him high or low. I'm worshipper and worshipped. It's a little bit Taoistic in that sense. The song is the song of the river, calling for the open seas. Wandering, wandering, I am life. I have no name. Yeah, I guess it speaks about living in a present moment and not naming things, just being there and living. I am the fresh breeze of the mountains. Yes, the fresh breeze of the mountains, I feel like, how can I say? There's this thing like we have a gravity of in a physical level, but I feel like we also have some kind of gravity in a mental level or maybe emotional. So if you go higher, there's like less thoughts. I don't know if it's like, how can I say? Maybe it's because less people and things are happening in there, and it's like it's really a little bit difficult to explain, but I feel the mountains, the fresh breeze is fresher than the breeze in somewhere else in that sense, because it's free of a lot of things. I don't know if it makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense to me.
What do you think about this poem?
I didn't know that Krishnamurti wrote any poems. I'm surprised by this. He had such a logical mind, when you read his books, and he's always trying to dissect what we're doing and why, and almost like destroy, these things that we think we are. And I feel like that's maybe what this poem is doing too, but in a different way.
Yeah,
Uh, saying we're not these names that we're so completely identified with. Someone says our name quietly across the room, and we immediately snap our heads and look because we think that's what we are. Um, but in reality, it's just an arbitrary sound that someone made up before they even knew us, before we were born. Um, and yeah, I think there's something interesting in that.
yeah.
Yeah, I kind of gravitated towards this line where he said that my song is the song of the river, kind of combined with this being from the Song of Life. So he's maybe implying that the Song of Life has to do with this river flowing towards the open sea. I don't know exactly what he means by that, but I think it's interesting.
I very much like now that you bring it out, my song is a song of river because river is heading somewhere, but I don't think he's thinking while he's or she's like it's doing it. It's calling for the open seas. It's making some sounds, some vibrations, like while being alive. But this open seas or this place where we are heading, like this is calling for us, and we are heading there, making while doing that. Uh, yeah, and we can say that sound is song because I feel very much, the live water, like a stream or the ocean waves, are very much like a song. Yeah.
Um, yeah. I also like the poem. I think it talks about life, the way that Krishnamurti experienced it. So the poem is saying that life doesn't really have a name. It's not limited to any particular place or to any particular book. It's not contained within the religious ceremonies or chants. It's not bound to any particular belief. It's not bound by any philosophy. Life is what it is. It's what's happening. It's the fresh breeze of the mountain. It's the sound of the river or the song of the river. It's wandering. And that's just life. We cannot put limits on it because if we put limits on it, it's no longer life, it's something else. But as long as it's free, then that's life.
And I feel the reason why it's free is because it is not have the bondages with the religions and philosophies and like it it does not even have a name. So he's giving up so many things, and he doesn't have the high altars or well seasons in traditions. Like very nicely said, I have no sacred books. I mean, you can respect things, but without being attached. And I think this is the freedom that he's describing here. Wandering of, the wandering of waters. This is, are waters wandering? I think they are because, we have this universal prayer that says, um, oh, hidden life, vibrant in every atom, and the life is in every atom. Like every time I say it, I try to imagine that the room where I'm in, that every atom in every tile in the floor and up and the walls, everything is alive, and also the air, and also you know outside, like everything we consider worth like live, and not everything is alive. And in that sense, I think if waters are wandering and I have no shelter, in a shelter, I mean, I guess is mean that he does not have like a, how can I say, if you're not attached, you do not have like a safe place or you're not even attached to a shelter or a place where you can totally feel like, how can I say, protected. You're even giving up that one. Yeah. But he starts with the idea, I have no name. He's given up even, you know, how can I say, some people, like some monks have given up a lot of things, but they still have the name. And he has even given up the name. Maybe this is the song of life. Like maybe the water will have a song, but will not have a name for itself.
Like everything else, it seems. It reminds me of Light on the Path. I know I sound like a broken record because I'm always talking about it.
No, please do.
It makes me think of that second line from the book, before the ear can hear, it must have lost its sensitiveness.
Yes.
And I think that also corresponds with, in the second part of the book a little later, it goes, listen to the song of life. Store in your memory the melody you hear and learn from it the lesson of harmony. And I think that we can only listen to that song of life once our ears are no longer sensitive to the things that are going on in the world. And a part of that, it seems kind of like what Krishnamurti is alluding to here, where, we're not our names, we're not all these things that we think we are. And by destroying our identification with these things that most of us typically hold so dear all the time, we kind of live in a state of emptiness, like the cold, frozen tops of a mountain. And I think he's saying that if you stick with that and don't run away from it, and you stay in that emptiness long enough, you begin to see what life actually is, maybe.
Yes. I agree. And I very much love when you bring the ideas of light of the path. And I think the song of the rivers, or I think the song of the life is probably also vibrational, and it's probably we are not able to hear it like totally by the ears, but maybe what at the light of the path referring that when you start hearing this like inner like how can I say, some moments of some teachings are so full, like somebody can say you a thing and you listen and yes, okay. And then a teacher can tell you exactly the same thing, same sentence, and it's so full of something and you're like, wow, like I've known it and this is like a first time I'm like experiencing it, because there's more than just the words or just the simple meaning. There's something you cannot say out, but you feel, because the person who says that holds that understanding and kind of create the space to you to also experience it as much as you're capable of. And yeah. Another place where I think we are heading. But for now, I will take the next poem. And this is by Tisha. I wanted to ask if Lakshmi, are you here? And
Yes.
would you like to read out this one?
Okay. Uh, Poor Solitude. if I must with thee dwell, let it not be among the jumbled heap of murky building. Climb with me the steep, nature's observatory, whence the dell, its flowery slopes, its river crystal swell, may seem a span. Let me thy vigils keep amongst boughs pavilioned, where the deer's swift leap startles the wild bee from the fox-glove bell. But though I'll gladly trace these scenes with thee, yet the sweet converse of an innocent mind, whose words are images of thoughts refined, is my soul's please, and it sure must be almost the highest bliss of humankind, when to thy haunts two kindred spirits flee.
Wow, this is so nice. Yeah, this is by John Keats, and I think John Keats was also somehow connected to Theosophy. Didn't look it up, but I think in this film One Fire we mentioned, if I
Yes.
remember correctly. But this is very nice, and especially in the beginning, he has like a very poetic language that like very vibrant pictures of nature. But then he comes to the mind that, oh, the sweet converse of innocent mind, whose words are images of thought refined. Like each word is holding an image. Is my soul's bliss, and it must be true, almost the highest bliss of humankind. When thy haunts two kindred spirits flee. So he said, oh, solitude. And then he is dwelling and bringing up those nice pictures of the nature and observation that he has made. And then he comes to this like this innocent mind, that this is one of the highest bliss of humankind that you can have. That you do not have too much thoughts. A little bit like Krishnamurti said previously, that you're just the song of life, the wandering of waters. Like, I think this is something that is like blissful human, innocent mind. Yeah. What are your thoughts?
I think it's interesting that the poem is about solitude, and it starts in the city, surrounded by people, and that's where he says he doesn't want to be, and that solitude is there. I think maybe he's alluding to this thing that sometimes we feel when we're talking to people in the world around us, and we try and look at what they're saying and why. Most times, people are talking about things, and it's normally some kind of emotional thing they want to get out of it, and the words don't really matter. It's just they want to be seen and heard, or whatever it is. And I think maybe what he's longing for is to be able to communicate where there are no ulterior motives. That's not the right word, but
Egos.
communicate with people. Yeah, no egos, and he's trying to communicate about something higher without just talking to personalities. And maybe he feels less alone in nature than surrounded by people because of that.
Yes, because nature does not try to be something else than it is. It is already in peace, wherever it is. Yeah. Yeah. Sweet converse of an innocent mind. Do you think he find this innocent mind in the nature, or he become like innocent mind in the nature? It was allowing him to be like it is. Almost like I'll please. Hans to Kinderspreisling. Yeah, but I feel like the idea is a little bit similar, like the previously, that you're aiming where this the highest bliss of human is to be free and kind of in solitude, but also a little bit what Krishnamurti talked before, but in different words, and like those different writers have like a many years apart, but also the way they see world, and but they both aim the same thing, like the freedom of this whatever is going on. Yeah, like you said, in a city and the buildings and everything, and he's appreciating the nature and the breeze of the mountains, like we had last poem.
Yeah, it makes me wonder what these two people will talk about if they met.
Yeah.
If yeah, if they weren't separated by years and continents.
Yeah, I would want to say 100 years, but I'm not totally sure if that would be right. But I know, yeah, a lot of time and like a lot of different lives, but still, I feel they have the same aim. Yeah, like we all do. Okay. So I move on. Okay, then we have a beautiful. Chris, would you like to read out this one?
Sure. Okay. Stillness of time. Moment between moments, time between times. No future in front, no past behind. Only the now, an empty space. Precious treasure of a life's embrace. A secret untold by higher powers, but placed within the soul's nature's flowers. For being is the essence of nature's teaching. Acceptance the theme of life's preaching. Only my breathing as an external guide leads me to the stillness already inside, where turbulent waves transform to waters so calm. There in the presence of a divine realm, unobscured by human labels or names. It's life's pure energy that so radiantly flames, burning the remembrance of past categories, breaking the illusion of all told stories, and boundaries fading away when time and space seem to delay. In those quiet hours, moment of being develops the blessing of a clear seeing. There in that moment, when time's not passing by, I realize there's no you and me. There's only I. Is this then the promised kingdom of God? The utopian place for so long been sought? A place outside the realm of human thought, which can neither be earned nor be bought by any coin or dime? No, only to be found in the stillness of time.
So beautifully said. The stillness of time. I think the yeah, I think she's reached or touched this beautiful stillness that yeah.
Yeah, I think at the beginning, I think she was talking about the moment to moment awareness when everything is coming like into stillness. And then it comes to a point wherein she reached that stillness. And after that, she's asking, is this the promised kingdom of God? Or is it nirvana or whatever? And then, is this the place or is this the state that we have been seeking or looking for?
Yeah. I, yes.
It's interesting that all these poems are kind of on the same theme. I mean, this idea of the stillness of time and the song of life, it's almost two ways of saying the same thing, right? I just think it's interesting that all these poems happen to be pretty similar.
And we didn't say any theme. We just say anything you like, send anything that inspires you. And those are different people from different countries, like Paulino is from Netherlands. And also the authors, I couldn't find the author. She didn't wrote the author, and I was looking, and many people have written on this theme. But I was thinking the same. It's so interesting that how the theme is pretty much the same. Like we are losing the boundaries, fading away when time and space seem to delay. It's breaking the illusions of old stories. This is pretty much what Krishnamurti says with in other words previously. And I agree with, yeah, that it is like, it is so nice. Like, it really makes me think, like, we say that the truth is a pathless land and there's many ways how to reach. And, if you just look at the poems, each poem is from different author and each poem is recommended by different young theosophists. And, we didn't say any theme. We said send poems that are inspiring for you. And this is like very, very beautiful. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it makes me wonder if all of us are here, you know, in whatever group this is, because we're naturally attracted to the same kind of things, or is it also because we all happen to be thinking along the same lines at the same time, because we're all connected in ways that, we can't comprehend yet? I don't know. It's interesting.
I think it is actually exactly that what you just said. We are more connected than we can even comprehend. And like, this is like, again, one of those poems that I think it's nice to maybe meditate. The kingdom of God to be in a place for long been sought, place outside the realm of human thought, which can neither be earned nor bought. Yeah, like when you're yeah, because earning and buying, this is like very much like the mind of this material human being who is in this physical world. But this is, I mean, I'm thinking maybe you can earn it, but the way you earn it, you detach. So it's like opposite of earning, or I don't know. Yeah. But it will only find in the stillness of time. I guess you can say the meditation is the stillness of time. In that sense, it's not psychological time. You do not have some thoughts going on there. You just are in the present moment. Yeah. I think it's very, very nice. But let's go further. We have, oh, Chris, would you like to read out this one yourself?
Sure, sure. So, the peace of wild things. When despair for the world grows in me, and I wake in the night at the least sound, in fear of what my life and my children's lives may be, I go and lie down where the woods rest in his beauty on the water, and the great heron feeds. I come into the peace of the wild things, who do not tax their lives with forethought of grief. I come into the presence of still water, and I feel above me the day-blind stars, waiting with their light, For a time, I rest in the grace of the world and am free.
This,
Again, the same themes of freedom, going into the wild. Uh, it's interesting. We're all on the same wavelength right now.
yes, totally. I was thinking the same. Like you go to the wild things that do not have like preliminary thoughts or systems or things. They're naturally there. And also the still water, we were talking about the stillness of time. Nothing is happening. It is still, but it's not still. There is presence of still water. There is something alive about it. And the stars, you cannot see them in daytime, but they're there. They're giving the light, they're affecting you far, far away. And waiting with their light for time, I rest in a grace of world and I am free. I'm thinking while you are sleeping, you can fly to the stars. Like, is it like that? Chris, what do you think about what you liked about this poem?
There's this underlying feeling of peace underneath the words. So it's also something that you experience in life because I work in like a corporate setup, so I understand how people do tax their lives and we kind of overwork ourselves. And yeah, sometimes I too go out to nature. And for some reason, even though nature is wild, it's still it cannot be put into words, but when you're in nature, there is a calmness or there's a stillness when you go to nature that you cannot express in words. You just feel relaxed, you just feel at ease, and you just feel at peace. And your the thoughts that bother you about your fears in life and your children's lives, they seem to go away in the stillness of all that.
Sometimes I wonder, because I feel that of myself too. Um, Especially like listening to bugs and things when I'm walking outside at night. And I wonder if the reason that's so calming to us is, you know, this is our what number incarnation is this that we've had on Earth, like number 700, 7,000, I don't know. But throughout all of those incarnations we've had on Earth, most of our time is probably spent in nature and not in cities and corporate offices. So maybe some part of us when we're in nature feels like it's back home where, where it's been for so long. I don't know.
Totally, totally. That's a very good point that most of our lives, except for maybe a few last ones, we are out there. Even people are working in the fields or, always somehow connected to nature. And also, um, Hudson wrote about the nature spirit, and he says, nature spirit is taking, if there's like a big trees or forest, there's like somebody who is taking care of this field, and they heal everything that is in that field. But if people people are very strong with their minds, and if they have their own thoughts and things, they do not let it happen. So those spirits will not be present very much in the like like so much in the houses. I mean, there's probably exceptions, but in a like a big city, there's no room for work. So they like to work in the nature. So I'm thinking like this is also you go there and you feel like a balance or harmony and yeah, I feel if we go very much into the like a swing in an amplitude of one extreme, then we want to go back and we want to find the golden middle way. But if you're being in a one extreme, then you can relax on the other extreme. But also I don't know if it is extreme. Maybe it's our natural place, and we have to like find out that this is our natural place to heal and to reach back. And also now I'm thinking the last few lines, and I feel above the daylight blind stars that are blind by the day, waiting their light for when you take a rest. But you can take a rest, as a sleep, but also you can take a rest as, after dying, your soul is free to go. And day blinded because we have so many thoughts and things going on in the daytime. It could be like a metaphor, but they're still waiting with their light if you are taking the moment to find this rest. Also, maybe in the daytime. Yeah. But again, I talk about the freedom and water and stillness and life. But Chris, you have another poem, I think.
Yes. Yeah, let me read it.
Please
So
do.
this is the Great Spirit Prayer, translated from the Lakota tribe. So, O Great Spirit, whose voice I hear in the winds, whose breath gives life to all the world, hear me. I am small and weak. I need your strength and wisdom. Let me walk in beauty and make my eyes ever behold the red and purple sunset. Make my hands respect the things you have made, and my ears sharp to hear your voice. Make me wise so that I may understand the things you have taught my people. Let me learn the lessons you have hidden in every leaf and rock. I seek strength not to be superior to my brother, but to fight my greatest enemy, myself. Make me always ready to come to you with clean hands and straight eyes. So when life fades as the fading sunset, my spirit will come to you without shame.
Wow. This is so beautiful. And this is a prayer.
Yes.
So
it the the energy behind it is so grounding because sometimes in life I feel that um we have egos, and sometimes we always have to come up on top, like at work or in the TS or in wherever. You always try to come up on top, you always try to best other people. And then this prayer is so grounding. It reminds me, that I need the help of the Great Spirit, and I'm just myself. I'm also part of the earth. I'm not this great person that I think myself to be. That I'm not this big person who can carry on without others. And it also tells me that everything that's there in my life is there to teach me a lesson. So there's a lesson in every leaf and rock. And then it's also because from a theosophical perspective, this prayer is universal. It doesn't name one God. It doesn't say Krishna. It doesn't say Jesus. It doesn't say. So it kind of reminds me that at the end of the day, Christians, Muslims, Hindus, we're praying to the same thing. It's just that we have different names for it. And we all think that we're somebody great. We know it all. We have to best everyone. We have to be the most knowledgeable one. We have to be the greatest one. But at the end of the day, we're all just part of one creation, and we're just here to help each other out. And in the end, when life fades, we just come back to this great spirit where we come from.
oh, thank you. Was so beautiful. I'm thinking like Great Spirit. It's you lend Like I remember that Blavatsky said he only listened two voices. The voices of his master, her masters, and her higher self. And I'm thinking if the Great Spirit could be connected to higher self, if we are, talking about the Buddha in a theosophical sense, it is connected. It is like a vehicle for Atma. Like this is how we are connected to the Great Spirit. Like, could we able to I'm just trying to understand, but what you say, totally, because you're able to ask it if you do not ask it to be superior, but to fight for yourself. And who is the self? I guess that's the lower self. And you ask, what am I to learn? What is the hidden lesson of every leaf and rock? But this could be also, the rock could be also the obstacles of the life or things that come to you. This is very like nature based. And if it's the prayer, it might, come from a long time ago. That when we didn't have such a modern day problems and things, but leaf and rock also have their lessons to give to those who are able to listen them. And life fades as the fading sunset. My spirit will come to you without shame. Again, our spirit is heading to the Great Spirit. That we were talking about how Krishnamurti, that there's a river that is heading to the open seas. I think it's a little bit maybe the same metaphor, and whose voice I hear in the winds. Yes, that's an interesting thing. If I'm in the nature and I'm still, and then I say a prayer or say some mantras or something, then I can hear the wind answering, not with the word, but like just being there. And I always understand when the wind rises to answer me, yeah.
This the context of this poem, I think, says a lot about it. Written by a Native American man in 1887. I looked it up while I was listening. Um, and I think this man is exemplifying the idea of living in the eternal with this poem and the way that he probably sees things. A Native American man at that time had probably seen his entire world be destroyed. Everything that he used to know, his entire social structure, everything is gone, replaced by, what the United States was becoming. And to see that, to see everything he used to know destroyed, and then to have this perspective in this prayer, I think that only comes from living in the eternal, which is the in Light on the Path, the antidote for selfishness, essentially.
Yeah. But I hope everything is not gone, and he has, yeah, we have,
Well, I think that helps with the perspective of the eternal too.
yes.
Because I mean, it is a reality that everything we know one day will pass. And this man saw it happen in front of his eyes way faster than most of us ever do. And still, he has this perspective. I think that's something really powerful.
Yeah, but it's a good thing you brought out also that this is from how native people felt the connection. And it reminds me, we used to have like lot bigger connection with, we can say it, Great Spirit or like nature. And like, and still, I always feel like if my head is like full of things and I cannot come, the best thing is to go and have a walk in the nature. And even if I don't have all the answers after that, I still unable to calm down or see it like a little in perspective, or like a little bit further from what is going on. Let me walk in a beauty and make my eyes ever behold the red and purple sunset. And make my hands respect the things you have made, and my ears sharp to hear your voice. Make my hands respect the things you have made. This is very nicely said, that you don't take more than you need, and you have a respectful feeling towards whatever you got, and the ears sharp to hear the voice of the Great Spirit. I guess it could be the voice of the silent, or yeah, he's asking to have this. He's praying not to have some powers or forgiveness, but to have these things that he considers like most important, and to be able to hear the voice of, I would say, inner guidance, or outer, like I think if it's really Great Spirit, then it's inner guidance. In that sense, we are connected. And make me wise, that so I can understand the things you have taught my people, and let me learn the lessons. Yeah. And this, I'm thinking what it might mean. Let me walk in a beauty and make my eyes ever behold the red and purple sunset. Because in the end, he says, straight in the eyes. So when life fades, as the fading sunset, my spirit will come to you without the shame. So maybe he's referring to the sunset that where he's uniting with the Great Spirit.
I think, well, for me, my understanding is, let me walk in beauty and make my eyes ever behold the red and purple sunset. It's like, let me have, let me appreciate the everyday life. Like, the sunset is the end of a day. So let me always come at the end of the day appreciating the beauty and the goodness that came with it. And then when life fades, the fading sunset, when you're already at the end of your life, meaning you've counted so many sunsets and you're already at the end of it, and you might not see any future sunsets because your life is about to end. May my spirit come with you without shame.
Yeah, and to kind of harp on this point again, maybe unnecessarily, but at that time, this man really was seeing the end of his culture. It's gone. I've been to Indian reservations here in the United States now. It doesn't exist anymore. This man saw everything he knew destroyed. And to have this perspective of, even though everything I've known, like if we were to imagine our entire culture just gone in our lifetime and we're the last ones, to still have that perspective of, this is it. It's over. My people are essentially gone. Um, but I want to see the beauty in this moment and what's happening now, and live in the eternal in spite of it. I think that's really beautiful.
Yeah, I agree. But also what you said in one of the previous poems, that you agree everything except the last Tagore line where he says, have a blessing for my country. And you said it should be not country, but perhaps the world. And I feel also like these people are gone, but when he's coming back, he's born in another culture, and there will be new other like a new family in a new kind of, just hope that he has really learned the lesson what he was supposed to be learning from the leaf and rock, and what the natives were supposed to learn, like, because there's not much possibilities to learn that again in that set. But maybe I think if it's needed, there will come other ways how to learn this lesson. Yeah. But this idea that, yeah, this ethnic group is gone, but he's holding this belief and this hope. And, you know, when he comes back, he might have to begin from the zero, but hopefully something of this mindset and hope are there to guide him or her. And yeah, very beautiful. But I would now go further a little bit. Okay, this is a really nice poem from Jimena. Seth, would you like to read this one out?
Yeah, sure. So the root of yourself. Zoom in here so I can see it. Don't go away. Or near. Don't be faithless. Be faithful. Find the antidote in the venom. Come to the root of yourself. Molded of clay, yet needed, from the substance of certainty. A guard at the treasury of holy light. Come, return to the root of yourself. Once you get hold of selflessness, you'll be dragged from your ego and freed from many traps. Come, return to the root of yourself. You are born from the children of God's creation, but you have fixed your sight too low. How can you be happy? Come, return to the root of yourself. You were born from a ray of God's majesty and have the blessings of a good star. Why suffer at the hands of things that don't exist? Come, return to the root of yourself. You are a ruby embedded in granite. How long will you pretend it's not true? We can see it in your eyes. Come to the root of yourself. You came here from the presence of that fine friend, a little drunk, but gentle, stealing our hearts with that look so full of fire. So come, return to the root of yourself. By Ruby.
Wow. I like almost everything that Rumi writes. I don't remember any poem of Rumi that I read and think, oh, this is not good. But this is one of, I think, yeah. I feel it's very like theosophical also, talking about the root of the root, not just the root of yourself, but the root of yourself. What is the spirit of the spirit? I think somebody mentioned in like our spirit, or how can you, like, there's a spirit of the spirit. Don't go away, come near. And again, I guess it talks about the same thing as the previous ones. The freedom, the the great spirit to reach there, where you have the root of yourself. I feel it's really necessary to tell it is the root of the root, not just the root of yourself. You may think that we have different roots, like different ancestors, but the root of the root. What is the root of the root? Guard at the treasury of holy light. Hold of the selflessness, you'll be dragged for your ego and freed from many traps. You get hold of the selflessness. I think this is a hint where is our root of the root? And you're born from the children of God's creation. You're born from the children of God's creation, but you have fixed your eyes too low. How can you be happy? So, children from you're born from the children of God's creation. So, you have a parents who are in a physical, like a plane, like a human beings, but this is not like who you are or who they are really, if you come to the root of yourself. But other than that, the physical parents, you were born from the ray of God's majesty and have the blessings of a good star. So why suffer at the hands of things that don't exist? What do you think he meant by that? To fear?
Well, when I think of Rumi's poems, he's definitely a mystic, right? Like a mystic as opposed to an occultist. So for some reason, I don't understand. I don't know. He's able to see things that are beyond reality that most of us can't. Um, and I don't think he did it through sustained effort. But that's the mystic versus occultist thing. So I think that he has these moments where he can see through the emptiness of, kind of like what Krishnamurti was saying earlier, of all the things that we think that we are, but we're not really. So when he's in that mystical moment, when he sees the emptiness of the things that we believe in and sees the reality of something higher instead, his lower mind, his words want to ask us, why are you getting so upset about this? It doesn't matter. But then I suspect, and this is just my guessing, I think that he probably comes back down from that, and he's just a regular person like us again, and it's probably he's probably asking himself why he's so upset again. That's my take on it.
Yes.
Yeah. My take on this is that Rumi is reminding us of who we really are. So, like molded of clay. So, we're made of the physical body, we're surrounded by physical things. But at the end of the day, you have to remember who you are, and that is the root of your root self. And he says that you have to get hold of your selflessness because sometimes you're dragged by your ego, but your ego is not you. So just remember who you are, the root of yourself. So you are born to be from God's children, but don't set yourself too low because you're a soul inside. So you're not really that low. You're not God, but you're not just flesh. You're something that's also divine. And then he's saying that you are divine, you are the soul. So why do you think of things? Why do you think or worry about things that might not even come to pass? And because of the so many troublesome thoughts, you're suffering. But these thoughts may not actually be real. Instead of focusing on them, you should focus on who you are because you have to get back to the root of your root. That's how I interpret the poem. It's like Jeffrey Hudson's Yoga of Light. It's like, yeah, you're the physical body, but you're not that. That's just your shell. You're the emotion. Yeah, that's that. But you're more than that. You're the mind, but you're not that. You are the root of your root. You are something more than that. That's how I interpret it.
Thank you. I really like, the way you interpreted it both. Yeah. It really likes me. And, several times, 7 times here, he asked us, come return to the root of yourself. 7 times. I think it's also like numerologically significant. Like if sometimes if he just say it's one thing, but he just keep telling it. Like he's telling something and he just keep inviting it. And it keeps, if I forget everything else about this poem, I will remember this line, come, return to the root of yourself. And this is like a calling, that is out there without the words to us to return that. Like this, I think was like this great spirit, or like Krishnamurti says, the open seas where we as a wanderer waters or the stream are heading. And but yeah, how will you pretend it's not true? We can see it in your eyes. Yeah, you can see a person's soul in their eyes. You can see something about them in their eyes. And you come here from the presence of that fine friend, a little drunk of this physical world, I guess, but gentle, stealing our hearts with what looks so full of fire. So I'm feeling like little drunk of this physical world, but you're still gentle. And I read this other quote the other day. I will one day bring it here because it's like very beautifully said. But it this lady who's explaining how our higher self is like ever present, and he's taking care. He's loving the person who is like who lives, and they want to take care of it, but also they want to be recognized and they want to be asked like advice and to take over, and like it have to be like that we are reaching them out. The higher will not reach it, it is what it is all the time. It doesn't need, but we should more and more feel the need that this is, reach that to finally, I don't know, create this antakarana, how can I say, the bridge between higher and lower in like, so it will be not just like some sparks that go, but that it will have like a more permanent connection. And this is like one beautiful way how to call out to do that. Again, I think this is one of the beautiful poems that is good maybe to meditate about sometime. But let's go further. Oh, this one, I'm thinking since Yuna is here, dear, would you like to read out this one? It doesn't have, it's from Brandon suggested, and it does not have any title.
Okay. Here are sounds of discord, no profane or senseless gossip of unworthy things, only the songs of the chisels and of pens, of busy brushes and
Is
Is-
ecstatic.
strains, of souls surcharged with music most divine. Here is no idle sorrow, no poor grief for any day or object left behind. For time is counted precious, and herein is such complete abandonment of self that tears turn into rainbows and enhance the beauty of the land where all is fair.
Wow. This is again so beautiful and speaks about the nature and everything. Again, I can see like correlations, but this is nice. Tears, it's the tears of heavens, and they become rainbow, and you cannot have rainbows unless you have rain. unless you need some rain, you need some and I guess maybe rainbow is like a learned lesson, like a reward for the learned lesson and the beauty of the land where all is fair. To reach, back to this, like also some of the first previous poems. It was, I think Miriam's first poem was about Tagore's actually, Tagore's poem to reach this fair land. And we are all aiming for that. And the time is counted precious, so don't waste it. And herein is such complete abandonment of self. So yeah, the lower self. Here are no sounds of discord, no profane, a senseless gossip of unworthy things. You don't have time for those things. This is discord. This is the discord in this song of life, if we gossip or talk about senseless and unworthy things. Only the songs of scissors and pens, of busy brushes and aesthetic strains, of souls searched in the music most divine. So about creating an art, they have different art forms. You can write it, you can paint it, you can have it in a musical form. But the music most divine, I feel this is also like this vibration we were mentioning before. In one of the poems, it was saying like the stillness of time. And in the stillness, you still have life, you still have, yeah. And no idle sorrow, no poor grief. Yeah.
I think it's interesting at the end of the poem, it says that tears turn into rainbows and enhance the beauty of the lands where all is fair. Almost as if it's saying that, this discord in the real world will continue and it will, emotionally upset us. But at the same time, that emotional upset turns into rainbows or what have you. It's fuel we need to grow and become what we're supposed to be, not just emptiness for no reason.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. It was needed exactly how it came, and we needed to learn this lesson. And I think if we did learn it, in a Light in the Path, it also says about the tears. I think there was two things about tears. One was that the voice of the silence that don't stop until there's some tears to dry from others' eyes or something like that. And at the feet of the master, at the Light in the Path,
The light on the path.
yeah, what
Yeah.
it says about tears?
Yeah, it's the line that goes, before the eyes can see, they must be incapable of tears.
Oh, yes. So this is the thing. We have a tears coming rainbow, and after that we are able to see if we have have given out enough tears and learned our lessons, then there comes a beauty of a land that all is fair. I guess, you if I can say earn, but you are earned the way, the right to live in a place like, let's say, in a higher level where there's no injustice, where all is fair, like where you're not looking like big emotions driving you up or down, where the stillness is enough.
Yeah, and then to really like confuse our lower selves, that world where all is justice, everything is fair, is right here, right now, all the time. we just don't see it clearly yet.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as injustice.
In a higher perspective, yes. But if you are in a lower perspective and why this thing has happened to me, in this life, in like this is totally but if I could see like how over many lives some things have happened and how these things actually formed, then yeah, but this is, yeah, it feels unjust, but I think you're right.
Like,
In a very high perspective, there's no injustice.
like in the Golden Stairs, where it goes, a courageous endurance of personal injustice, because to our personality it is unjust, but that's not what we are.
Yeah. Not very well. It is very beautiful, but I will go now on a little bit because we have few more. Okay, we had this really long one. Seth, would you like to read out this one, because I know you have a better pronunciation than I do.
That's debatable. My English is pretty bad, but yes, I'll read this. Brother, you'll take my hand. And it goes, not to the sober and staid, leading a quiet life, but to men whose paths are laid ever through storm and strife. Here's a song from me, sent to the tragic West, message of sympathy to the hearts that can never rest. This is the song I send out to the Western land, sinner and martyr and friend. Brother, you'll take my hand. To you who have loved and lost, to you whose souls have died, cursing a fair false face and red warm lips that lied. Loved with a boyish love, with a love that was pure and true, that set one woman above the world that was known to you. Eating your heart out now, alone on a waste of sand. I have been played with too. Brother, you'll take my hand. To you who were loved too well, and who cast that love aside, when your vanity was replete and your passions satisfied. Haunted now day and night, haunted in every place, by the eyes of a suicide, set in a dead girl's face. Crouched in your misery, out where the stars are grand. Oh, I am haunted too. Brother, you'll take my hand. To you who had wealth or name, friends, love, and a future fair, and who sacrificed all for drink in the nights of Leicester Square, in by the drunken town, out on the barren tramp, pacing it up and down, alone by the listening camp. Crouched in your agony, hiding your eyes with your hands, I had the ball of my feet. Brother, I understand. There is a light for all. Hold up your head and live. Forgive the woman who wrongs, and the dead girl will forgive. Brood not, but work for good. Work in the world of men. Strong is the man who fell and rose from the depths again. There shall be peace for you, sinners who win the land. I would fight upward too. Brother, you'll take my hand. By Henry Lawson.
Yes. You would fight upward too. Again, I very much like the idea of putting at the end of the every section this calling, brother, you'll take my hand, like we are united, we are brothers, even if something happens, like there was going on the suicide, there was going on I guess a lot of things were going on, but the idea that I am there for you, and sinners who win the land, there shall be the peace for you, the sinners who win the land, you'll fight upward too. And now just take my hand, like readiness to give the hand, and be there even if how can I say, the outward world might judge you for things that may have happened. But the idea that there's somebody who is ready to give you call you brother and give you hand. And give you hand in that sense that, I don't know, if somebody says, brother, I take my hand, is like, take my hand so I can pull you up, or like I recently read that there's this scientific investigation about how persons perceive how tall or high is the hill. And if they are alone, they are measuring and they are telling how they feel. And if they're next to a strange person, how they feel about the hill. And when they are with, if a friend is nearby, how they are measuring the hill. And it's interesting that when a friend is nearby, you feel that the hill is like less complicated thing for you, that it is height is less than it actually is. And if you're alone, then you might see it as a bigger it was a psychological study, but it was like so true. If you have somebody helping you or potentially helping you, then you feel, sometimes it's enough when somebody says that they're there for you, and you even don't know, you even don't need much, but you know that when things go very bad, I have this helping hand. And yeah. Any other thoughts? I feel this one is, the other one was very, very, how can I say, high. And Svet actually sent several poems, but this was one that I only took right now. But I feel this is maybe more, how can I say, earthly. Other poems were like describing more like aiming the spiritual, but this is also for a person who is not, how can I say, very spiritually minded. It just talks about the alcohol and the love, and that was pure in heart, but it was like there was a wasted, and the vanity and the passions, and it's like most of the humanity lives in that state of mind. So for that state of mind, it is so, this is like almost religious to know that you have somebody who is ready to help you, who is there for you. You must find a friend outside first, and then I guess there comes time when you're ready to find it inside and in other spiritual realms. But this is we need to be near a person who is ready to help, in order so we will be also ready to help. That it will be easier for us to do the same if we are among the people who are ready to do. Any thoughts on that?
Same idea as yours. I was reading through it, and it's like somebody suffering guilt about love that was like not returned or not reciprocated. And then somebody was there who acted to help that person. And yeah, like what you mentioned, that person actually helped him to cope with the guilt of his past sins, I guess.
Yeah. This is this is like a, how can I say, we have different levels, but we have to, the last poem talk about if we had enough tears, there's coming rainbows, and then you earn the right to be in a pure land. But also about the idea that others have a lot of tears around, and to help them to dry their tears, like this idea to help that enough, and then you help make the land a fair land, but be there for your brother. Yeah, very nice. And I think we have one more poem. This is from Mike. I can read this one because it's more. My 50th year had come and gone. I sat, solitary man, in a crowded London shop, an open book, an empty cup, on the marble tabletop, while on the shop and street I gaze, my body of a sudden blazed. And 20 minutes more or less, it seems, so great my happiness, that I was blessed and could bless. Also by each. William Yeats. I do not know if it's like a you have self-portrait and you have autobiography, and I'm thinking like, is it a self-poem, like about yourself that he wrote that in his 50, I don't know if his birthday or just in his 50th year, he's in some shop or like cafe, and he's reading a book and have empty cup already, and he's looking, things just happened. And then comes this moment when he feels a great happiness, and he feels like he's blessed and he could bless anybody who's coming. And I think I can relate to that. I remember like some years ago, I was in university, and suddenly I was so happy. I was in a corridor and I had like a big happiness coming over me. And I've felt this over again like many times in my life. But I remember first time I was like really aware because I had no reason. I was just walking. I had some time for the next lecture or something. And suddenly I was so unbelievably happy, and I could, without no reason. And this have happened few times. And I'm thinking like they say, that you have invisible helpers, and I guess there's some thought forms also that we can uh, pick up, but it's like if I don't have a form of a thought, I just have this blissful feeling. I'm thinking like, where does it come from? Does it even important? Like, where does it come? It's nice to have it. And it's possible that this thing happens, and yeah, I feel blessed at that moment, and I just want to bless everybody and everything around me. Have anybody of you had this kind of experience before?
Yeah, I have. And they make me nervous because, at least in my own case, it it seems that for every action there's an equal and opposite reaction, you know?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
So 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 when I feel that coming, I know the opposite is quickly coming.
Now that
And
you
it kind of takes
mention it,
away. What's that?
now that you mention it, oh yes.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think it's just the way that the human psyche works out of necessity. And I think it's in line with this poem too, where this man is sitting alone on his 50th birthday in a crowded London shop. And he probably feels that. He feels alone. And he's probably not happy about it. And for 20 minutes, he feels that, that taste of euphoria where he can help people. And everything makes sense. But I know at the end of it, he's right back where he was, feeling alone in that shop. Which, is an interesting thing just to see and be aware of, as humans that we go through this. And to know that other people go through it too maybe helps it feel less dreadful. Just it's a part of the thing.
You know what? I remembered another time. It was before the election of first Young Theosophist board, and I imagine how wonderful it will going to be when everybody is when it starts happening, and I imagine who all could I could nominate, and I suddenly could imagine very many people how I could nominate, and I had such a tremendous happiness. I could barely touch the ground. I remember because I felt like however it goes well. I had this tremendous feeling and the thought, and I was moving around, and I was so happy. And then I think in few hours I read a mail, and it was like if you read the words by somebody else, it's like neutral mail. But suddenly I felt so deep, and I got like so disturbed that I could not just calm down. It took me like a while to really calm down and just fall asleep. And then I was thinking, like, what was it like? Like you mentioned, and then years later, I read this place. Somebody talks about the letter, a master's letter to judge about that he really wanted to meet them or have some contact with them. And they say, we cannot, because if we open up the contact with you, then also the dark forces can do the same. So it is for your own benefit that we do not like do. And I'm thinking, could it be like that? Could it, like what you mentioned, it just came to my mind that you have a certain like inspiration, and then you have the opposite thing, and you know, to see how are you able to come out of it, or yeah, find your balance again.
I wonder what he was drinking. Because he had an open book and an empty cup. Maybe was it dopamine from the
Did
coffee, or
you drink
did
coffee?
did the tea calm him down all of a sudden?
Yeah, but yeah, but I was open book, like also since he's a writer, it might be that he was writing this book.
Yeah.
Because if he's in London, if this coffee shop and the book, I'm like rolling. It's like Harry Potter. Like this is like where I will go to start writing a story. Like I've heard some writers tell that they go to, and then if they run out of like ideas, then they can listen some conversations around them that gives them inspiration, or like yeah, I'm not like really like that. I don't have that time to that's much time to go and be in the coffee shop, but I would imagine all the
Maybe
writers are going there and having this kind of life. Yeah.
maybe this
Well,
poem is what he wrote, and he was so happy because he knew that in 100 years, 3 people would be talking about this poem.
I'm wondering what he drank.
Exactly.
Yeah, empty cup. He did not like say more. Whatever was there, but also I was thinking, could the empty cup be a metaphor that he has, had some kind of experience? And the open book
Mm,
also a metaphor that, he
he's
doesn't know
open.
how the story ends. It's in the middle.
Mm.
Marble tabletop.
Because he just looked at the shop and the street, and then his body suddenly came alive. After 20 minutes, he was filled with great happiness.
Yeah. It is
Well,
there's no
but-
like other things they say, abandon your name, become selfless, and then you reach to the rootless truth. But here it says you just go to the coffee shop, take a book with you, drink whatever you order, and then it might happen. It gives hope to us that it's not so hopeless.
Well, I do know sometimes people are or sometimes I experience when I'm sad and then I keep thinking and thinking and thinking and then suddenly when I just drop it, I suddenly feel like it's all better. But I'm not exactly sure if that is what he's talking about. Maybe we need to research this poem.
I'm also thinking maybe somebody remembered and wished them or blessed them in their minds or give them like a good energy sent to them, and then they
Oh.
receive it. Like this might be in this time when he wrote, he probably doesn't have the mobile phone to call and have a happy birthday or something. Like
He
maybe
got it. He got an astral text message, made him happy.
yeah, exactly. You receive it. Yeah. Okay. By the way,
Maybe.
sometimes if you're very connected to somebody, and they're even if they're in another country, but they're writing you a letter and like a warm letter, I suddenly feel like this warmness or this nice feeling inside, and I'm like, where did this come from? And later, oh, he was writing at that moment a letter to me, like, and it makes sense. Like maybe it could be something, but I think this is something more. It's like to be blessed and to be able to bless others. Elevated. Also, I think he's talking about this. I think he's very honest with this experience, and he's talking about I like
Well,
how he's putting it like so simply, like this is not
mm,
unreachable.
well, I was thinking about your astral text message because Yeats was also a member of the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn. So he had some occultist friends. So probably there are people who could have sent him a positive thought form, but I'm not exactly sure the information isn't. Or maybe it's something that we will all someday experience. Like we're just living our lives the way we're doing it, and then all of a sudden we feel happy.
Yeah, but I feel it's a great happiness, like not just happy, but like you said, also you're sad, and then you decide, okay, I dropped it. Because I remember there was this Pema Chodron is one of the and a very nice nun who wrote this book, Peace in a Wartime or something like that. I have it in Estonian, and she said there, if you have something to worry about, give it 2 minutes. Worry all you want, and after that, drop it because it's no need.
Mm.
Like if you really did something bad, feel like bad about it. 2 minutes, but not more. Don't waste your energy or your daytime or like a lot of time of it. Uh, make a decision. Like next time, I try to do better. But don't give like more than like 2 minutes to the worrying thoughts. And I kind of like this. Not that I'm able always to do that, but we oftentimes we worry about more than it is actually necessary. That most probably it will not happen, and if it does, then it does. Then it doesn't matter if you worry or not. Like it doesn't matter, but you're wasting your energy right now. You can do something else with that. And masters also say at the feet of the master that don't be this depressed. Otherwise, they cannot pour through you the energy to help others around you. And yeah, so Yeah,
Mhm.
but
I'm
great.
still curious what he drank.
Well,
Sounds like some strong coffee.
I would think about its coffee, yes, but yeah, I would think books and coffee goes well together. But if this happiness comes whatever he drank, then this is outside happiness. I think what he's saying is something about this inside happiness. Maybe the cup was there already long time empty. He didn't say that he was the one who drank it empty. Maybe he was sitting in the table and there was empty cup and there was so much work for the waitress that they just think, okay, he has already bought something and we don't have to like worry about him like something. Yeah. But it's a nice and it's a nice poem. And I think he's like when he's describing it, I think it feels like it's something that really happened, and I could relate. And also, you know, if it is that what I think that it is like some blessings of somebody, then just send out this kind of blessings to others. And try to make it like stronger. And yeah, this is the way how we give a helping hand to a friend. And this is the way how, we help the world to come in this better state where it's like all is fair. Yeah.
Yeah. And when you were saying that, sometimes someone will be writing you and you can kind of feel it before it comes. There's a few instances where I've seen that kind of thing happen too, which is nice. It's kind of like confirmation that this stuff is real and it's not all in our heads. Yeah,
Totally.
it's kind of beautiful that, even sitting on your own in a coffee shop or wherever he was in London, you can help people. And yeah, that in and of itself can fight depression.
Yeah. And this is what we read out of it. He doesn't say, he just say that this great happiness come and didn't say more. But this is what our thoughts as a theosophical background allow us to read out of it. And I like at the feet of the master, she says bit by bit, your thoughts about yourself will be taken over by thoughts how to help others. And, this is the natural way. And one of the ways, if you have time, send some good thoughts to somebody who that might need them. And if I have myself this experience that really somebody's nice or warm thoughts are affecting my feelings so much, then I know that this is true. And if I do it, it is not for nothing, that the other person can feel it, even if they are not conscious about this feeling. Yeah.
I researched it on Google. The poem's title is Vacillation. It's part of a longer poem, but I, I think from the title, I think he's just describing how our emotions are volatile, how it keeps moving. Like one day you're on top and then you're depressed.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it wasn't because of the coffee.
Um, Otherwise, life will be so easy. Otherwise, it will be a good coffee commercial here at the end of. But yeah, for some reason, coffee works and some else. But yeah. But I think it's a nice idea, philosophical idea to um, find ways to bless others whenever you feel you need. Also, whenever you feel and you need how can I say? There is another investigation was going on. I think this was this Martin Goldman, or the person who wrote about emotional intelligence. I think he was the one who wrote in one of the texts, like how there was a people who are they were given $5 so they can buy a coffee or somebody else, not themselves, but for somebody else, and how it make them so good. Like, how can I say? If I would got this $5 and buy myself, I will, okay, nice. But if I got it and I make somebody else happy, I will be even more happy. I mean, it might like yeah. What I want to say it, if you are in like a depressed and in a difficult situation, and usually we do not think about then helping or others, but maybe like this could be like a good starting point that take the concentration out of my situation and put it for somebody else to make their thing happier. And then you have like a little room, and then you see things like in maybe in a better perspective. Yeah.
I searched the context. It says that the poem is about expressing conflicts in life between physical and spiritual, between joy and sadness, and about its reconciliation of the opposing forces of life. So maybe for this portion of the poem, he was, because it doesn't also say at the beginning if he was sad or not. It just says that his 50th year had come and gone and he was a solitary man. So probably at the first portion of the poem, he was not necessarily unhappy, but he was not content. And then all of a sudden, looking at the shop and then resting, he suddenly felt happy and he felt blessed that he was on the 50th year of his life, and it could be a blessing to others as well. So maybe that's the recurring theme.
Yeah, that's a good one. And I think it's worth reading the whole poem like fully. Now that I'm thinking, I once made a group for Young Theosophist poetry and never use it during those sessions. We could have like put there some poems, like now that I remember. But I'm thinking like if Chris, I don't know, yeah, would love to see
But there
the
are
whole
some
poem.
people who are posting poems in the youth forum, right? Before.
Oh, yes, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, Arthur does a bit.
Oh, yeah.
Mm.
Arthur writes his home poems very, very easily and very inspirationally. So if you can, maybe you can share the full poem, Chris, since it's already open for you.
Okay. Oh, I close it. Let me just open.
Okay. But
Isolation.
we actually succeeded. We had quite many poems and we were able to take them all through. And I'm not very sad that I was not able to put all of them that I got, because I think some of them will be part of the next year. Because in December, at the same time when we usually have the poem, we are having a gathering in Adyar. So, but we will be recording some of the lectures and they will be up later. So that's consolation, I hope, for those who cannot come. Yeah. But thank you so very much.
Thank you.
And
I shared the link. I
oh,
don't think I can share screen.
no problem. No
Yeah.
problem.
Thank you.
And thank you. And
Thank you.
it was pleasure
Yeah,
to read them and think with you. And till the next time.
thanks.
Thank
Bye.
you.